Hey, welcome to the podcast Domination Show, where we help you launch, grow, monetize, and dominate the podcasting space. This is a show where we believe that if you can get attention with your podcast, you can influence someone. And if you can influence someone, you can get them to take massive action. And if you can get someone to do that, you, my friend, can dominate. I'm Diaz, your host and founder of Podcast Domination, and I'm your guide. Let's go. Okay, guys, what is up? I am podcasting this mic from my phone. Let me just check and make sure the recording is actually going on here. It looks like it is. Apparently, you can't do voice memos and record a podcast at the same time. So we're just going to record this and go from there. Anyways, so what's up to my friends in the group? If you're watching this later on replay, I would say do a hashtag replay in the comments. And I stole that little trick from Daxy. So Daxy, you're watching this, man. Thank you. What's up, Grant? Let me know if you have any questions, brother. Anyways, today we are going to talk about, really quick, I just want to talk to you about something I found really effective that I think I want to start switching to. And it's totally against I love it, hashtag live. It's totally against traditional, I'd say, podcasting, quote unquote, rules, but it's I think it's very, very effective, and I think it's more effective in today's world when everyone is super not focused, and they're very, very Instagramified, I guess we could say. Instagramified, we'll use that word. And basically, it is predicated on the belief that people have very short attention spans. They want to get to the content fast. They don't give a shit about who you are. They don't care about what you do. Not until at least you give them value, right? And this is, for me, this is almost like me being hypocritical. So I'm somewhat afraid to say it, but at the end of the day, like, I always learn new shit. And that's the reason why I'm saying this, because I think I'm probably wrong in the past, and a lot of people, other people were wrong too. But anyways, let's get to it. What I'm talking about is not doing an intro and just getting right into the content. That's number one. There's a couple other things I want to talk about here. But there's three things. I just listened to one of my client, Vince DelMonte's podcast. I thought it was really good. And I think, hey, like, if we model this structure going forward, it might be good. I don't know what to see, but I think it's good going forward. I think it has a lot more front end value. And I think you'll get more listeners to tune in regularly if they know, hey, he doesn't have a long intro. He gets right into it. He tells great stories, and he has valuable offers that are relevant to the content. So it's three things there, and we'll unpack them a little bit. Number one, what I saw today was on his latest episode, and I see very few other people doing this, but basically giving value up front and getting into the content within 60 seconds. So within 60 seconds, you are getting into the content, meaning like you're telling people what you're going to be explaining, what is going to come in the next 15, 20 minutes, right? So you very clearly, number one, state the intent of the podcast. And I want to say, think of a podcast like you structure a sales letter. Big, bold title at the top. Very, very benefit driven. Very, very, it's about them. It's not about you. It shows a lot of results, or it's very clear. I'm not an expert copywriter, but think of a big, bold headline on top of a sales letter. It's very clear. It's benefit rich. It tells them exactly what they want to hear, what they're going to get. So that's number one. Number two, the meat of a sales letter, right, goes into a story, goes into some kind of crazy, entertaining story of some sort that conveys value and illustrates the point as to why they should get a product or become a part of a membership service, or at the end of the day, you're selling something. And on a podcast, it doesn't have to be really related to selling something right or now. You're just trying to sell them on the idea that whatever you're talking about is relevant, important to them, and they should probably start doing it, right? So recap. Number one, get into the content really fast. Number two, get into a story. Let's talk about, it doesn't have to be an amazing, wild story, but it can just be a story about how you, for instance, for today, for me, like, I was in the gym and randomly 3 girls checked me out. And I think it's because I've been doing a few different things with like just body signaling, body positioning. As weird as that sounds, body posture, body language. So yeah, I can tell you the story about that. And that's not an amazing story, but it's just a relevant story to hook you, to get you into more paying more attention. So that's number 2. And then the last thing, I'll wrap it up here really quickly, is a native call to action. So what I mean by that is not having a pre-recorded call to action. Now, even though I like pre-recorded calls to action because they save a lot of friggin' time, it makes sense to really be thoughtful about the pitch that you're pitching them and be live with it. So if you can, maybe write it down on a piece of paper. I know for a fact on my podcast, my perfect podcast planning worksheet, which I'm pretty sure is in this Facebook group. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, go to the Facebook group. Facebook, just go to search in Facebook, podcast domination, VIP inner circle, and get in there. But there's a worksheet I have for free that shows you exactly how to structure and lay out a podcast episode. And at the very bottom of that, it tells you like, hey, if there's any calls to action, if there's any relevant news, promotions going on, this is where you want to plug it. This is where you want to talk about it. So the native call to action, what does that sound like? That just basically sounds like a very soft, not a hard sell, soft selling, kind of like, hey guys, if you like this content, then definitely DM me on Instagram and be sure to tell me what you learned. Be sure to share it with a friend if you thought it was helpful. Just a simple screenshot on Instagram, tag me, and then send it to a friend or something, or tag a friend in it and say, hey, this is really helpful. That way I know you did it, and then also I can reshare it and give you some recognition. That's what a soft call to action sounds like. So really simple, super simple. Stuff like that will start to increase engagement and start to grow your show. If you are selling something, a soft call to action is like, hey, if you found this helpful, then you might find my program, 6 Steps to 6 Figures, for instance, relevant and actually might help you to get you to where you want to go. So if you thought this was helpful today, then maybe check that out and be sure to let me know if you have any questions. That's what a soft sell call to action sounds like. It's not hard. It's not pushy. It's not demanding, but it's suggesting, hey, if you thought this was helpful, then maybe, just maybe, you'll find my product helpful. So I want to recap because I know, like, if you're like me, your brain's going at a million miles an hour and you forget stuff. So number 1, this will work well. Damn right it will. It'll work well with lives. Yes. So number 1, get into the content fast. 60 seconds. Tell them clear. Hey guys, today we're talking about X, Y, and Z. You're going to get X, Y, and Z out of this. Stay tuned. Number 2, use a story. How I got 3 girls to check me out this morning in the gym. I don't know. I was going crazy. That's a funny story too, by the way. But, what's up, Paul? How you doing, man? Definitely got to get you on my podcast soon too. And last but not least, the native call to action. So the native call to action, very soft selling or soft promotion. Hey, share this episode if you liked it, if you found it helpful. Be sure to the simplest way to do it, guys, just to screenshot it and do it and put it up on Instagram, and then tag me in it. Something simple like that, or hey, share it on Twitter, or share wherever the heck you're at, or Facebook. So, yeah, we got some people interacting in the comments. What's up, guys? Anyways, I will keep this short. I appreciate everyone watching, and be sure to check out the perfect podcast planning worksheet. I think that's really helpful. It'll be in the comments pretty soon, guys, for everyone in the group. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, that might help you keep some stuff organized and get more listeners. Anyways, I've got to go do a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm sure you do too. I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.
Hey, what's up? Lewis again, and I get asked this question a lot, so I wanted to answer it here for you in a unique manner. And that question is, Lewis, what exactly do you do? How do you help podcasters? What exactly do you and what does podcast domination really help with? Well, instead of me sitting here and telling you all the amazing stuff about us, I thought it'd be fun and interesting for you guys to hear what our clients are saying. So here you go. Please enjoy.
Lewis literally makes my life so much easier. All I have to do is record my content. I don't have to worry about editing it. I don't have to worry about writing show notes. I don't have to create any of my graphics to promote it. He literally does everything for me.
We hired Lewis to kind of help us set up podcasts, for us to put our content out and kind of grow our brand. And all I really have to say, it's been a huge success. It's been really easy. Lewis and his whole team have made the whole process easy. From setting it up originally, which with podcasts is kind of intimidating, and there's a lot of things that if you don't know a lot about the platform, that it's very time consuming. So Lewis made all of that easy.
In the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I was completely overwhelmed, confused, stressed out, because I went on YouTube trying to figure out how to set up a successful podcast. And actually going on YouTube, I was just bombarded by so much information that I just wanted to give up on the idea. And then I met a good friend of ours that introduced me to Lewis, and we hit it off. And he just said to me, it's really, really simple. I will take care of everything for you. I think what Lewis has done for me has made it seem so painless. He has took my idea and saved me money. He saved me time and energy. And more importantly, he's made my Persistence Factor podcast sound professional.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those sound bites as much as I enjoyed putting them together. If you have any questions about how we can help you grow, launch, or further your podcasting efforts, feel free to reach out to me at Lewis@Podcast Domination, or you can reach out to my team and ask them some questions. hello@podcastdomination.co. Both are .co. Just make sure that's, keep that in mind. Anyways, I'll see you on the next episode. And until next time, keep dominating.